Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Within. It's your hosts,
Rowena
and Felicia, and we have a super special guest with us today, Zoe Foster-Blake, who started GoTo Skincare for adults and GoTo for little teeny peewees.
babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kids, so yeah, small and little.
Today we thought this would be a perfect way to get Zoe to introduce and share with us a little bit about GoTo Skincare, because we like to say, you know, our skin gets inflamed, it gets very sensitive, it's angry, it's hangry, it needs like TLC.
Can skin be hangry?
Like it maybe needs to be fed some nourishment.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And Zoe's been in the beauty industry for how long now?
Yeah, about 15 years now.
Just 15.
Yeah.
You know. And you're a beauty editor?
Yes, I was a beauty editor at Cosmo and Harper's Bazaar, and I was a beauty blogger, and I wrote tips and tricks book called Amazing Face back in Australia.
So reading about GoTo and your background reminds me a lot of Glossier and Emily Wise. Would you say you're the Australian version?
Ooh.
That's very flattering to me. Thank you. I'll take it. Well, yeah, I guess in terms of similar pathways, yeah, going from the beauty editor role and having that awareness and understanding of which products actually work and which don't and which, you know, are actually going to do something. I guess it's taking that expertise, trust that you already have with the people out there, and turning it into a line.
So we're super excited today because it's not very often we get another
Aussie.
Yeah, Aussie, mate.
G'day, mate.
When we were planning this video, I wanted to do like a quiz or some sort of like game, but then I was like, I
To
feel
test
like
if I'm really Australian.
no, like in between.
She wanted to moderate between like a LA, US girl and an Aussie, because she's a little bit in the middle now.
I'm like a diluted Aussie. Yeah.
If we think of a game,
Yeah.
Play. Wait, how do you say cordial in?
cordial.
Oh, do you know what it is?
No, not cordial. The drink that it's like sugar and you add
No one knows what it is because it's an Australian thing.
Yeah, but
Sugar and water.
yeah, you mix it.
It's a horrible idea.
Soda. Cream soda.
Do you have a drink like that though?
It's like the syrup. It's a really condensed fruit sugar syrup. I'm selling it well. That you pour into the cup and then you add water. So it's a diluted version of a very sugary fruit drink.
Simple syrup.
I don't know.
That you give to children? Okay. Well, anyway, today there's a lot we can learn from Zoe. So we're going to be going through a bunch of the products and find out a little bit about how to and what's the go-to methods when your skin is feeling a little under the weather.
So to start, we'd like to know how GoTo was born.
Well, as I said before, I was a beauty editor for a long time, and I had tested so many products from very, very expensive high-end salon and spa brands right down to supermarket brands. I felt I was confident knowing what actually worked, and I'd sat through so many presentations from brands and derms and hair and makeup artists that I had a pretty good understanding of beauty. After I published my book though, I just had overwhelming feedback from women because social media was starting to take off about skin. Skin is so closely tied to confidence and how you feel about yourself, and it wasn't something that people were prepared to take risks with. They wanted to get it right, and they felt confused. They didn't understand the words on the front of the packaging. They went to a counter in a department store and they felt intimidated and scared, or they were just using what they'd always used. So I felt like there was room in the market for something that was just simple, because when everything else fails, or if you've had a tricky procedure or a really inflaming, you know, acid exfoliating experience, you can rely on your GoTo to help you through. So I wanted to handhold people, and I guess my experience as a beauty editor meant that I wanted to educate as we went, and as you guys know, education is key. It was born, I think, out of experience teamed with consumer feedback, with a desire to create something that took out all the choice and all the paralysis and intimidation that comes with skincare.
Yeah. Was there like a recurring questions that always came in from them?
Yes, usually around acne, breakouts, congestion, oil, or what order do I put things in, or how do I apply that, the application method.
So just to state, you have dry skin.
I am a dry.
Okay, so Rowena.
Try the hydrate, they woo!
And I have oily, but this line and all the products are designed for everyone, right? Because it's GoTo.
I think broadly speaking we say that, but you might find that our face cream for an oily skin is a bit too heavy.
Actually, no.
Great.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about, I think there's so much background to even to what I just said, like it's so loaded. Someone who's got an oily skin, it could be because they're chronically dehydrated. And so you've got an excess of oil because you've been stripping your skin back too much. You can't really make broad statements about skin and skincare. So our hero products are heroes for a reason. It's because I think people have fantastic results no matter the skin type. They're the ones.
Yeah, I was even looking at some pictures, people who had acne using some of the products, it like vanished. And so through the process of like finding out what it is that your skin actually needs, through very simple ways, simple methods, and just stripping things down, I think that's what we always like to like talk about.
Less is more, particularly if your skin is irritated, sensitive. Sometimes your skin just goes through a thing, you don't know why, it's come out of nowhere. And I think people panic and maybe they go too far and too hardcore.
Do you have a favorite?
This one, this
oil?
face hero is our oil. It's our star product, it's our hero product. It's 10 potent oils, super anti-inflammatory. I think that's the main key. That's one of the core pillars of the whole range, is that it's anti-inflammatory. Inflammation, as we know, is sort of the core of all aging, disease. So we figured that if we focus on antioxidants, AHAs and anti-inflammatory, then we're gonna have a pretty good basics.
Yeah, there's like jojoba, macadamia, there was
Borichi is the main one though. Borichi oil, it's fantastic. So it is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, and I reckon that's probably what gives people those incredible results. Full of essential fatty acids, beta carotene. It's really potent and it's really soothing and really calming. And so we've also got calendula and arnica and those classics in there, and rosehip, which is like, I was a rosehip fan.
love rosehip.
Her favorite, her holy grail.
Did you know that a lot of rosehip oil is actually rancid by the time it gets to you though?
Really?
So when I was developing my own, I found that out, my formulator and I, and so to have a rosehip oil that is actually giving you the benefits of it, you have to have supporting antioxidants and other oils. So that was I wanted like rosehip oil, but on 10 Red Bulls. It had to be really powerful.
Love that.
And so that's the product. I'm yet to find someone who doesn't love it. You know, my mother-in-law has pretty chronic rosacea. She loves it. She uses it. My mum has rosacea. She loves it. We have a lot of people who have tricky skin, I'm going to call it, and it's the one that they turn to.
Because
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Ah, good. You use it.
Yeah, for dry skin.
Yeah, and of
Even-
course,
even
like, sorry, it's also
summertime,
deeply
yeah.
hydrating. That's why I use
Yeah.
it. Like, if I have a really hardcore procedure, like I was saying, I was doing microneedling and my skin is really hot and burnt and itchy, I just slather it in that because I know it's going to help.
Is there any skin type that is more prone to sensitivities?
I think dry.
What would you say? Dry?
Well, I think in the classic sense, yeah, because if you've got a propensity for the dryness, the tightness, the itchiness, and the redness, it's not a sweeping statement, obviously, people with...
No, it's true, because when we talk about skin barrier
Well, it's
and keeping it
moisture,
healthy,
that-
it's
So
the
you-
hydration.
That's it, and so it is the barrier, and that's the essential fatty acids are really critical to that. So when you go through like how to treat sensitive skin, there'll always be like cut out your soaps and anything drying or tightening for your skin, and then get that moisture in. But the barrier will keep it in. But niacinamide in our mask is like key for sensitive skin.
Yes, niacinamide is just the like all-star ingredient for any
Yeah,
skin
and
type.
squalene as well, which is in our kids range.
If you're like oily, you also have sensitivities, but it's a different sensitivity. Your barrier is more protected, but you just get other like clogged pores, irritations.
And even our Swipeys, which are the exfoliating pads, I deliberately went with lactic of all the HAs because it was okay for sensitive skin, and we did it at a level that would be safe for sensitive skin and also very hydrating. So without even really meaning to, I think I was just wanting to protect the brand and myself by making everything very gentle.
No, but that's great because glycolic acid stings.
Yeah, some people swear by it, like they love it and it turns over their skin and they just friggin' love it. I personally can't deal with much glycolic.
It's too like intense.
Yeah, I can do it like once or twice a week, and that's if I know I've got to shoot the next day and I need that kapow.
Because we tried a good amount of acids, I can use most.
Yeah.
But I haven't in a long time, so now when I do use glycolic, I'm like, it burns.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's like
burns.
fire ants.
Yeah. Sounds like most of your good decisions have been great business decisions.
It's those funny moments where you go, this feels like the right thing to do, but I have no idea why. And then you're like, thank God, thank God. Everything has to be really useful. That's the thing. So when we've got a few new products coming out, I'm like, they fit because they're super useful and we need it.
Can you share with us some of those new products?
Yes, it's not going to be an eye cream, which is what our customers ask for the most. I
Really?
don't really believe in them.
Yeah.
It's okay, we don't either.
Like you can just use the moisturizer and like.
Although I will say like a retinol eye serum, that's going to make a difference. Yeah, and an SPF around the eye is also not a bad idea, but I just think they're mini moisturizers.
They are,
Yeah. So we have a cleansing oil coming out, which I've been working on for ages, but it's so exciting.
Yay!
Well, we have this beautiful cleansing mousse here that is got a tiny bit of willow bark extract in there, but it's very softening, and people think it's a foam. It's not. It's a mousse because everything has to be softly.
Yes.
But I was
It's like
finding
a cloud.
yeah, thanks. It smells like sherbet. In Australia, we have a zinc sunscreen, so we were finding that, you know, people were using zinc and then primer and then makeup. They were having to double cleanse, and I personally, I'm getting older and I want something more hydrating, and I use cleansing oil, so why not make a really good one?
Yeah.
So that's coming soon.
So it's a cleansing oil?
Yes.
Okay. Do you double cleanse as well? Do you like that?
I don't find I need to with ours. No, and even days where I'm wearing full makeup, I find the cleansing oil with the cloth, it's okay.
Oh, nice.
Very hydrating.
We're all about streamlining the steps.
Oh, good, that's very Australian of you.
Like honestly, coming here, you know, hearing about like the 12-step or the 7-step toner. I'm like 7 layers of toner.
Yeah, and you got to cleanse that. And that's the problem. I have a real problem with people who are doing all of that and then doing full makeup and then using a face wipe at the end of the day. No, that's not a cleanser.
When people get sensitive skin or they label themselves as sensitive, anything can make your skin sensitive, right? Like it doesn't matter about the brand or what it says.
Well, it's sensitive is such a, again, it's loaded. Like it could be genetic or it could be a disorder like psoriasis or eczema or dermatitis, rosacea obviously, or it could be environmental. So you've been sunburned or you've been in the wind. But I think more and more, because there's this influx of sort of pretty aggressive acids at a consumer level now, people are getting sensitive skin because of the products they're using, and they might not have had sensitive skin until then.
It's like
what we talk about every other episode.
No, but that's like a good point, because some sensitivities or irritations, it could be self-imposed, which is also short-term. And then you have the long-term ones, which is like Rowena, you get
like eczema.
Thankfully
just on my arms.
Yeah.
Not as much on
And
my
like rosacea. And that's like linked between internal and
Yeah, a lot of
external.
it comes from gut, I think too. But I think broadly speaking, sensitivity, redness or flushing is one of the key pillars that like a derm or a doctor would look for. So it is those times when your skin is like misbehaving. We say just it's misbehaving. It's just not being what you're used to.
I love it. That's your mum. You're misbehaving.
And I remember meeting Dr. Daniel Mays, who was working for Lauder back then, and he said something to me, and he's like, look, I tell every beauty that I meet that less is more. You have a finite amount of skin. You cannot just keep stripping it and stripping it. It will get shiny, it will get thin, you will have sensitized, terrible skin. And I never forgot that. Less is more, certainly. Like, yes, I think AHAs are brilliant, but used properly and gently.
Yeah, it's like picking when to actually use it.
And like, if you're 20 and using hardcore acids now, what's left when you're 45? Don't do everything too young.
Did you hear that, guys? Because some people are like, when can I start like retinols, or when can I start
AHAs. I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm 14. What can I use in my skincare? We're like, just stick with a moisturizer and sunscreen.
You have all the collagen in the world. What are you doing?
Yeah, protect your skin. Protection is really key. And that's like the barrier protection and the antioxidants and the SPF.
I'm curious because there's a lot of talk about like clean beauty and new brands that are coming out and claiming to be clean. So what's like your approach to that?
I think on the whole it's a great movement because again it's coming back from that consumer awareness, and they're so informed now that they know what to look for. Like 10 years ago, who was looking at ingredients? Or who was researching it like that? And so I sat down with the formulator, I'm like, let's just make this as clean as possible, as non-irritating, as least harmful to any skin tone that we can, so that we don't get people returning these products and having red, horrible, angry skin. So if I'm honest, it was a self-defense mechanism in those early days to just go, I think less is more. Let's just keep what we need in there, make it really soothing and regenerative and helpful to the skin. So we did it kind of organically for that business moment in time. Now, of course, it's trendy and it's good. And I think clean it can depend on the retailer's version of it. Like with Sephora, we fit their clean parameters, and Goop has their own. And that's a way that they help shape for their customers and consumers how they perceive clean beauty. I think, broadly speaking, that it means you're keeping out any ingredient that's known to be harmful to health. Parabens, sulfates, synthetic fragrances.
Yeah, a lot of the fragrances are like peony, jasmine extract.
We are a fragrance brand. Like, people are like, well, how can you call yourself a brand for sensitive skin if you've got fragrance? And we're like, well, first of all, it's so minute. And it is derived from essential oils, and then that's another trigger for some people because it's like, well, essential oils is so irritating, and they can be, but it's all about formulation. It's so hardcore to just go, no, it's got fragrance or it's got essential oils, so therefore I cannot use it. And I think, again, it comes back to our huge customer base of people that have had phenomenal results, who've had really tricky skin, and it's not been a problem. For me, sensorial, like fragrance is such a big deal of beauty for me.
It is.
It makes a product.
It does. I love the feeling. Like I can remember my mum's, the smell of her one lotion that she used because she was so basic with her makeup and skincare. And she still is, and I love that because that's how I learned about rosehip oil, was all she used.
How do you tell when your skin is not happy or when it's misbehaving?
Generally only comes about when I've had something a bit invasive, like a new laser or something, or I've used a product when I've been traveling that I thought was fun to buy or try, and it's pissed my skin off straight away.
Nope.
Yeah. But then I've always got my go-to, and it's my fix. The thing about having your classics in your own kit is that no matter what you've done, no matter what you've tried, you've got to always have the one that takes you back to normal.
Equilibrium.
And it takes time to find those products, but you'll find them in time. And I love that because they're people's hero products, and they're the ones like, that's my deal breaker. I've always got to have that. I've tried everything else, but Embryolisse is mine, or my P50 is the one that I turn to. Like everyone's got those products that they always love and rely on getting their skin back to normal. And the flip side of that, there's things like retinol that do take time to build up that. I don't know if I've got the patience for that.
But you recently started
But I'm
introducing it.
I've done it like twice a week for a couple of weeks, and I'm barely doing it. And I'm actually putting it into my oil and using that to carry it through because I'm such a scaredy cat.
So it's quite diluted. Do you think Australians are better with sunscreen?
It wasn't until we put out an SPF in Australia that we realised how many women weren't actually using SPF every day. And that's part of the reason I spent so long developing it, because I want them to, because we have like no ozone layer.
Yeah, you're like,
And the UV's intense. It's going to be the best thing you can do for your skin. We all know that. It's such a cliche, but it's for a reason. And I think Americans are actually better at it in a way because of that aggressive skincare policy.
They have to protect
They've been taught, like, if you're going to rip your face off every night, you've got to protect it the next day.
We grew up with our parents even just sunscreen every day before swimming and all that.
Really? So I think a lot of Aussies still just go, I'm going to the beach, that's when I'll wear it, not like just walking around the city for the day.
That's how I kind of approached it before I got here and started doing the whole skincare. But I'm curious, what do you do as like lifestyle choices to keep your skin healthy and radiant?
I think self-care is something that is very personal, and whatever it means to you. I have had phases of like complete wellness where I was like doing yoga and drinking elixirs, and I'm not in that phase, but I'm cyclical. So I expect it's coming soon. I have like gut issues that I need to get back to. Like I went on the low FODMAP diet, and I found that when I was doing that, probably I had more energy, and I was like one of those bulletproof coffee people.
Oh, did you get into that?
Yeah, big time. And then I got pregnant, and the morning sickness, I was like, I need hash browns. So, and then breastfeeding, I just wanted pastries. So, I go through cycles, and I think on the whole, I eat well, and I like to exercise for my mental health and for just be moving.
That's the best thing about self-care. It's so personal.
So personal.
And then you make it whatever it is that you need where you are in your life. And it's so,
It
there's
is.
seasons in your lives.
And I like what you said about it being cyclical, because it totally is. Like our emotions are forever changing, our body is changing. Sometimes I feel like we all expect ourselves or each other to be on this like, yay, it's going to be forever good, but it's not. And it's also very natural to like go through those things and then come out on top.
What do you think are upcoming go-to trends?
I am not a trend person. I think,
Love that.
Yeah, I think the brand speaks to that, because we've always tried to be a minimalist line that's just the essentials. Like, because I travel so much and I've got kids, and I just want my kit to be useful. And I always say that like we educate the customers. So a lot of our customers had never tried a face oil before or a sheet mask before ours. We're bringing them into skincare and making them feel really confident, and they can trust us. So I love that. That's the warm fuzzy bit of it. For me, I don't look to other brands. I think you can get really confused, and you can start making bad decisions when you go, oh no, everyone's doing a clay mask, we need to do one immediately, or something like that. So, I mean, we literally launched our sheet mask about 2 years after everyone else, because we don't like try and play keep up. So I think that's a bad idea.
You can't keep following, because then you just lose your own identity.
Yeah, it's true. And there are brands that do it so well and are so fast and have such big infrastructure and investment that to try and play keep ups is just, you can't win.
And how did you come up with the color scheme? Because I'm loving it.
Peach was my favorite color to wear. I was like, it's my color, you know. I don't actually wear it very much anymore, but I was like, why isn't there a peach skincare brand out there? Like, that seems weird. And I know why now. It's really hard. It's really hard to match all the different peaches, and every supplier has a different version of peach. You know, and then we've got GoTo with those very bold colors that are, you know, I want it to be recognizable. Like, I don't want to be, there's no way to say this without hubris, but you know how Cadbury has purple, right? So it's like, you probably don't know what Cadbury is, but
Oh, it's chocolate. It's like this deep.
it's chocolate. It's a chocolate brand. But you know, it's GoTo. No, we're known for the peach now. So that, I think in that sense, it was a good move.
I love it. Everything kind of was just like born very organically and naturally.
Now I think you know, chatty best friend language is everywhere, and brands are having fun, which is good.
It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's like you're telling me things that like I want to hear. Like it's okay, you know.
It's like sitting on a couch with your friends talking about skincare.
Yeah. Or sometimes I used to say it's like the drunk girl in the bathroom telling you about her lip gloss, and then that was always me, and I'd be like, you should just take it.
Have it.
I'm a beauty editor. I can get another one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a fun drunk. It's just like clothes or diet. You choose what works for you.
Yes, yes. Message of the episode. Choose what works for you. Last question that we always like to ask our guests. What is beauty within to you?
Oh, that's nice. When I feel happy. So for me, like, for example, when I'm on holidays and I'm in the sun and I've got my family, my children with me, and I don't have to be on email, then I feel very beautiful. I feel very happy. I feel content. I feel stress-free. I think for me, it comes down to no stress and being in a place with people I love. Is the skin always better on holidays?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
it's
so,
stress.
you're just not, you're just happy. No stress.
And it just works. Like I just put lipstick on. I'm like, I don't need anything else. Back home, I'm like,
Stroke
oh,
the brows up a little.
Exactly. What is that?
No, it's true. When you're stress-free, when you're relaxed, like you just have this natural glow. Yeah. Even when I step off the plane when I get back home, I'm like, oh, yeah. Even looking back at the footage that I film at home, it's like my skin is clear. So yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
Go more.
Or maybe it's the New York water that ain't treating me right.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, you use New Zealand.
Yeah, we manufacture half our products in New Zealand because that's where our formulator was when we started.
Water definitely does make an impact
It
on your
does.
life.
I mean, New Zealand is the water place. Everyone's,
Yeah.
when the apocalypse comes, we all want to be in New Zealand.
Everyone flocked to New Zealand.
It's bagels. That's why New York bagels and pizza taste a certain way, because the water.
That is good. And this is the wheat in Italy, right? Maybe it's the water, not the wheat. Okay, now we're getting deep.
Yeah.
But that's another thing, like when I travel, I don't have digestive issues because I'm happy. I'm eating gelato and I'm not getting irritable guts afterwards. It's just happy gelato.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on our episode. We love talking about anything like simple and clean, not just in a marketed version, but just truly realistically. And I think your brand completely symbolizes that.
It's just a reflection of you.
Yeah. Love it. So I hope you guys,
Simple, happy, bubbly.
honestly, simple is good.
Yes. Oh God, that was the whole thing. Like the mess and the noise of all the products out there. You want something simple and uncomplicated.
Yeah. And you know what it is? It's just refreshing.
There should be no needs and no shoulds.
Yeah.
Just if you want.
Can I have you as a mom?
Yeah.
I wish my mom would say that to me when I was growing up. But anyway, thank you so much. Hope you guys check out the products. We'll leave all the links below. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
hope you guys
Thank
enjoy
you,
the
ladies.
rest of New York.
New York.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Why don't I wave to you? I'm very professional at this.
Waving everywhere. Everyone gets a wave.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
Yay. That's a wrap.
Girls, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. That was so fun.